Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another super cool Lulu's Customs and Classics figure to check out. Yes, we've got ourselves another version of the Scorpius Rex because we have a baby Scorpius Rex now. And what's cool is we also have, here next to the baby, the updated version of the Scorpius from Lulu's Customs and Classics, and I will show you the differences here very soon. Also, it's my first chance to have this sculpted version with the classic Scorpius Rex colors, because previously the versions that I had with this sculpt were the Jurassic World Evolution skins, so it is pretty cool to now have the classic coloration in this sculpt as well. But you can see he has gone ahead and created a baby Scorpius Rex. Again, basically took the dinosaur and then envisioned what he, perceived would be the baby type of a version of a Scorpius Rex, what it would look like. I think he's absolutely nailed the overall appearance of what this dinosaur would probably look like, or I should say this hybrid would probably look like as a baby. So insanely cool. So let's, as always, jump straight to a closer look at these, and we'll check them out from there. So starting up here at the head sculpt of our baby Scorpius, you can see, first of all, he looks incredibly adorable. But you'll instantly take notice to the fact that the head is kind of shaped a little bit differently. He has those baby-like proportions, again, kind of like a little bit of a chubby sort of a head. The type of thing you often see when it comes to younger animals, and in this case, of course, a hybrid dinosaur. But you can see he's done a very good job of sculpting it out to give it that sort of baby-like look, as well as, again, sculpting it out to give it really nice skin texture. You can see, although quite fine, the skin texture looks really good. We've also got the quills kind of popping up here in the back of the neck, something that we know in the future will definitely be a large part of the appearance of the Scorpius. You've got the nostrils right here up on the tip of the snout. You can see they are highlighted with a darker tone. The paintwork also looks really good, as we have a nice lighter tone for the lower part, and then of course some darker tones as we have a mixture of blacks and browns for the upper part of the dinosaur. The eye is painted with a red, then given a yellow and a black pupil. It looks awesome. You can also see it has a nice gloss coat to it, so it shines quite realistically. The teeth are sticking out of the mouth a little bit here and there. Again, not like obviously everywhere. As the dinosaur gets older, I would imagine that the appearance would change. The teeth would of course increase in size a bit, and the dinosaur would eventually look drastically different compared to what it looks like as a baby. But you can also see, again, everything looks really nice over here on this side. As you move down through the course of the body, you can see, especially with the light hitting it, all of the really nice skin texture and scale detail we have for our Scorpius. We've also got the scoots moving along the back, those very large scoots that you see following along the spinal column of our Scorpius Rex. We really have some nice browns up there on the back of the dinosaur. As you move down into the arms again look really good. You can see the muscle definition, even some of the quills starting to pick up there in the back of the arm, poking off of the back of the elbow. We've got the fingers sculpted nicely, the nails as well sculpted and painted nicely. They have a nice glossy black to them. As we move back a little bit further, you can see that one leg is kind of taking a step forward, the other leg is sort of trailing, so it's like the baby Scorpius has just taken a small step forward, maybe looking at something in a little bit of a curious fashion, or maybe even going in to kill it, because we know how evil the Scorpius is overall. But you can see the hip bone back here. The muscle definition also looks really quite nice in the thigh, moving down, as well as the calf. You can see the knee right there. We've got that claw on the back of the leg that you do see on the Scorpius, and then you move down into the foot sculpt. We've got the scoots running down that very long area of the leg as you lead down into the foot sculpt. You've got the toes sculpted nicely, the very small sickle claw, and you even have a dew claw right there. And then you lead out into the tail, and the tail leads up and then kind of curves back down a little bit, and just like with the other areas, you can see the quills kind of starting to pick up back here on the end of the tail. And those as well will of course grow in quite a bit on our Scorpius when it gets older. And then you can see again for the opposing side, the arm is in pretty much the same position. The head's pretty straightforward, and the only real big difference that we'll see over here is the fact that the leg is trailing on this side just ever so slightly compared to the other side. But everything honestly looks awesome on this side as well. You can see the underside also sports some very nice looking fine detail. Again, very fine skin texture. So the baby Scorpius is awesome. And again, this is the very first time I've seen anyone create a baby Scorpius Rex. And then we have the adult here. And again, this is the updated version. So you may notice some differences as you move throughout. I may not even know all the differences for the figure, but straight away, again, this is my first chance to see this sculpt with the actual Scorpius Rex coloration on it, and man, does that ever look good. Like, that is far and away one of the nicest Scorpius Rex models I have ever seen. He really captured the likeness of this dinosaur, of this hybrid. Now, I have actually reviewed this sculpt in the past when it comes to the original release, which again I had in Jurassic World Evolution skins, but can just take a moment to really appreciate how nice his paintwork is, how nice the sculpt overall is, especially the eyes. I think the eyes look so good. But as you move back through the course of the figure, you can see again we've got a very nice healthy dose of blacks and browns moving throughout, and I love the way he paints his Scorpius Rex. I always feel like it looks extremely lifelike and extremely realistic with the different variation of color. You can see the underside also sports that lighter tone like we saw on the baby a few minutes ago. You can even see some really cool scale detail actually popping right there on the underside. But as you move down into the arms, you can again continue to see that same type of paintwork and stuff. But one area of the Scorpius that has been improved upon compared to the older one was something that he actually didn't notice that he failed to include on his first set of Scorpius, and that is this tiny little detail here, which is a dew claw that he completely, I guess, missed, and I didn't even realize it either, so it's not like it's something that jumps out at you. He was actually watching Camp Cretaceous and then realized that there was in fact a dew claw for the Scorpius, so he went back and re-sculpted this entire area to give the Scorpius the dew claw. On top of that, he also has improved the size of the feet for the Scorpius. He now has made them much closer to what you actually see in film on screen, and again resized them because previously they were actually quite a bit larger, and at the time I didn't even realize. I actually felt like they looked really good, but now when you see the two, once I compare them, you'll see a massive difference in size when it comes to the feet on the Scorpius. But outside of that, again, as you move through, everything else I believe is the same. You can see all of those very cool kind of like quills here out on the tail. I don't think anything else has really been drastically altered, but again, I may be wrong. There may be things that I don't even know about that he has altered, and I know he spent numerous hours working on this, trying to update it and get it as crisp and impressive as possible, and he absolutely knocked it out of the park. This is far and away one of the nicest Scorpius Rex models you will ever see. Now, when you see one of the previously released Scorpius Rex, you can see again how big of a difference there is when it comes to the size of the feet. And I actually, like I said, I did not notice that when it came to the first release. I felt like everything looked awesome, and still looking at it, I think it looks beyond impressive. It's an insanely cool Scorpius Rex, but you can see again, he definitely has improved the overall appearance of the feet, including adding that dew claw that he previously missed. So just showing you how dedicated Lulu's Customs and Classics is to making sure that his product is as awesome as possible and as screen accurate as possible. He really went ahead and put a lot of effort into making sure the figure looks great. But as far as a size goes, again, for our baby Scorpius Rex, lengthwise you were looking at about 4.5 inches or 11.5 centimeters. And then as far as the height goes, I would say around 2.25 inches or around 6 centimeters. For the adult, you were looking at right around 4.75 inches or about 12 centimeters. And then lengthwise, even though I don't have the tail in screen right now, about 10 inches or around 25.5 centimeters for a size comparison. There is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect Day Human Being next to our Scorpius Rex, the adult and baby, and you can see again, they are nicely sized. They're not huge by any means. I would say when it comes to a Scorpius Rex, they're a very nice, very convenient size. So if you are looking for a Scorpius to add to your collection and you don't want one that's going to take up a gigantic amount of room, this is a good one to go with. But we have actually already done size comparisons with the adult version because, again, it's the same sculpt basically as the older one that we already reviewed, except for the fact that it has had some, modifications to update it. The the figure that we really need to kind of iron out a size for, and I feel like there is one figure that is a perfect comparison for this, would be the baby. So here you can see the Mattel Velociraptor beta figure that they had released next to our Scorpius, and as you can see, they are extremely similar in size. So if you do happen to have that Velociraptor beta release from Mattel, which I'm actually surprised to see that they did not flood us with Velociraptor beta figures, now that I think about it. That's actually pretty impressive considering how many Velociraptor blues we've had. But if you happen to have that beta, this should help to give you a pretty good idea of the size of this baby Scorpius. And just in case you don't have baby beta, here is a comparison with a Mattel Mini and a Captives Mini, just for one final comparison next to our baby Scorpius to give you an idea of a size. So this adult and baby Scorpius Rex from Lulu's Customs and Classics is honestly awesome. I think he has done a phenomenal job on both of these. The adult looks incredible, and with the new modifications has somehow become even better. His paintwork on his Scorpius Rex, again, they're so good, especially when it comes to the classic colors. Like, I love the Jurassic World Evolution skins that he had done for me on the last release of this sculpt, but I can say that I absolutely adore those classic Scorpius Rex colors, and he does a great job of applying them to the figure, and we have very impressive paintwork for the eyes. I think the eyes are one of the areas that really stand out the most for these Scorpius Rex figures. But again, the additions to the new version of the adult are really nice. That dew claw, the resized feet definitely help to make the figure look somehow even better than it did previously. And we also have, again, that baby, which is such a cool idea. It's something that I've never seen anybody even consider making before, so it's something that I feel like was a great decision on the part of Lulu's Customs and Classics to make, because it is so unique, it's so different, and that's something that can be often said for most of what he creates. He always is working on new things that are just a little bit different than what you usually see, and a baby Scorpius Rex is honestly genius if you ask me. And again, he's perfectly sculpted this out, I think, to resemble what a baby Scorpius Rex would and should look like. He's definitely altered the proportions and everything to give it that baby-like look. Again, the small quills just kind of beginning to pop in were a really nice touch. And of course, the paintwork and fine detail of the baby as well, just as awesome as the adult. So if you are interested in picking these up for yourself, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that from Lulu's Customs and Classics eBay store. So make sure you check those links, go grab these epic figures, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.